Many of you have already experienced a relationship with a narcissist. Psychologists would say to run as fast as you can, but we know that life is not perfect, and there are different situations when you can't run very quickly, when you need time to prepare. And here you need to know which methods, techniques, and strategies work for surviving alongside a narcissist. Today I will share with you my own acquired experience, a life hack on how to neutralize a narcissist, how to completely dismantle him, and how to become a strong woman thanks to these relationships. With you is psychologist Yulia Latunenko, and my cat Carmen is helping us today for 18 years. Now I have been helping people solve their own internal problems. I also work as a body-oriented, existentially oriented Gestalt therapist. So, to our topic. Before we begin, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel, because I have set a goal for myself by the new year, 1,000 subscribers, and comment. If you have nothing to say, you can just leave an emoji. So let's move on. I will immediately warn you that the strategy and technique I will provide today can only be used by those women who find the inner courage to stand against a narcissist. For frightened, very timid, delicate women who are very dependent on their narcissistic partner, this technique can be dangerous. It may seem so. But I know that women, even delicate, even very timid, self-sacrificing, sometimes reach the point of your own limit to their boundary and become something like witches. That's what we'll talk about today. I'll share a bit of my own experience. It's not how to do this. If you don't know yet, narcissists are very cowardly. They are, excuse the language, they are such cowards. Boys who are very afraid of those stronger than them. That's why imprisoned narcissists appear like fluffy bunnies who get out early because they follow all the rules. They submit to those who are stronger. Even they go through some humiliation, because the life of a narcissist is like life in prison. Whoever is stronger is right. That's why aggression is a very important part of a woman's personality that will help her protect herself, to stop playing the games and scenarios of narcissists, and to give the narcissist resistance. You probably know that narcissists view their partners and their surroundings as objects. They do not consider that you have your own needs, your own feelings. They see a partner as a resource they can use. For a narcissist, a woman's body, her beauty, her intelligence, her money, her beautiful voice, her certain special skills, all of this is his achievement. All of this is his resource. I would also add that a narcissist looks at their partner and sees them not as three-dimensional, but flat, like a drawing. He seemingly views his partner as a hero or character from some cartoon, or simply drawn on a piece of paper, flat. Therefore, He believes that he can add something to that drawing, or erase something, cross it out, scribble over it, or crumple it up and throw that piece of paper into the trash. Because he doesn't perceive you as a person, he doesn't acknowledge you as a person with your own personal boundaries, feelings, and needs. You are something that should serve as a tool for his needs, his feelings. When your narcissist starts devaluing you, playing out those pathological, disgusting scenarios of devaluation or humiliation, or he manipulates, or he gives his disgusting interpretations of your behavior and forces you to justify yourself, or he even yells at you, you not do as you always do. You don't go crying, you don't justify yourself, you don't prove anything to him, but instead you mirror his disgusting behavior back to him. For your assertiveness, the narcissist will only respect you more. Mirroring is a strategy, a technique that leaves the narcissist stunned because it is unexpected. He generally does not expect the victim to become the aggressor. Mirroring is the duty of repeating the actions that the narcissist has used against you. You are like a reverse wave, a reverse response, feedback, giving it to him and showing him in words and in your behavior, everything that he did to you. The narcissist seems to correct himself. He seems to restore his ability for relationships after you mirror his behavior back to him. Now I will give you examples of how this was in my life, how I intuitively did this in relationships with my narcissists. Unfortunately, I had several of them. But before I tell you about this, let me remind you that you can support my channel with a subscription if you haven't subscribed yet. And let's set a goal on my psychology channel to reach 5,000 subscribers by the new year. Let's do this together. So in my first relationship, when 10 years flew by like one day, I just went off the rails. And I'll remind you that I was financially dependent on my partner. Instead of continuing to cry and suffer, I started doing the same things he did to me. So he comes home from work, opens the door. Previously, my son and I would hide in a separate room to avoid encountering him and to avoid receiving his humiliations, his shouting, his destructive remarks towards me and my son. And I started attacking him. First, that is, he comes home and I start trolling him. He was in shock. Instead of continuing to act as he always did, he would stop, freeze, like his computer was. Half frozen, half frozen, half frozen. He couldn't process this software glitch. He sometimes tried to respond and shout back, but I became even more toxic and told him, "Oh, you're acting like a woman. Oh, you're whining. Well, go ahead and cry some more. Come on, come on, come on. Tell me how disgusting you are. Go ahead and shout. Oh, how beautifully you shout. And wouldn't you shed a tear or some snot? Let me wipe your snot for you." I became that toxic and showed him all the disgust he showed towards me, which he applied to me throughout all 10 years of our life together. Such methods of mine surprisingly worked, and I realized that it works. And I usually didn't want to live my whole life trying to become someone I was not. But as one of my longtime clients said, you can only escape a narcissist by going to another narcissist. Therefore, if you are going to run, you should run towards a solitary life. So after a relationship with a narcissist, I usually ended up in a relationship with a new narcissist and then another new narcissist. That's my life. Perhaps it was necessary for me to have a good understanding of this topic. And in the following relationship, where the narcissist was very toxic and tried to control me, appropriating my life, my thoughts, my time, my will, my freedom, he constantly called and tried to force me to report to him where I was, who I was with, what I was doing. So on certain special days, when I was free, I did the same. Every 3 minutes, I would call him and say, where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? Why aren't you here? In other words, I mirrored his behavior and it made him feel uneasy. And when we broke up, I would say, look at what you did in the relationship. Look at how you tried to poison my life. And he would tell me, but you didn't let that happen. The third episode I want to provide as an example with the narcissist. These were no longer personal relationships, but rather work-related ones. There was an episode when I met a producer and we were preparing a joint film, which is still, it's pending. The producer said that it will indeed happen, this film. And when we were sitting in a restaurant with him and drinking wine, he was 70 years old at the time. He was 65 then. Such a grandpa. Told me, well, if you look at yourself sometimes you're beautiful and sometimes not so beautiful. I put the glass on the table, opened my purse, took out some powder, opened the mirror, turned the mirror towards him and said, look, freak, how beautiful you are. Bold, old, disgusting. And what do you think? Yes, I was dependent on him, on his decision, and he blackmailed me, saying there would be no film if you do something there, then it will be... Well, he wanted me to act the way he wanted, but I didn't act that way. I was brave, and I was even ready to lose a lot. To this, he told me a strange thing, but when I was young, I was handsome. I don't know when you were young, but now you are disgusting. And what you say is also disgusting. It's none of your business how I look. Because I just have a working relationship with you. And now we are just discussing work relationships. Those are the boundaries I set. And he told me, in the end, you know, the film will be with you because you weren't afraid, you stood up for yourself. You didn't do what all women do when they are blackmailed. He understood well what he was doing. So say that's how it is. Reflection. For a brave woman is a path where she can gain much more than she thinks. She thinks she might lose, but she can gain a lot from such behavior. So the first thing you need to do is get rid of your fear. Your fear is your enemy. The narcissist, like a beast, senses the scent of your adrenaline. He senses your fear of losing him or some material benefits, and he starts to manipulate this to scare you. But when the victim starts to mirror, they have already gotten rid of that fear. And for the narcissist, this is a signal. They are not afraid of me. Something has gone completely wrong, not as I expected. And he freezes like a broken computer, like a glitch in his program. It happens in his brain. That is, you can stop the narcissist for a while like this. And I advise you to always remember that he stops, but it's temporary. Oh, my Lucas has come now. In the meantime, he will definitely return his toxic behavior to the relationship with you, so you will have to constantly withstand the blow, constantly live in tension, and this is very harmful to your health. But as an experience of being aggressive and being able to protect yourself, it's a very useful experience, and it's an experience for your understanding. You must know in your life that if the opportunity arises, you will be able to protect yourself from anyone. You will be able to say, stop, I will show you how disgusting you look. I can't stop you. You just need to truly believe in this and be brave in doing so. That is, you will need to bring out your inner witch, that witch archetype, which should be present in every woman. We have many archetypes, and I can tell you more about them. If you're interested, let me know under this video about female archetypes and how to work with them. But today is not about that. This witch archetype is very, very important for a woman. This witch that you bring out shows the narcissist, his entire repulsive essence, and he looks at you, sees himself, and is shocked by that contact with his worthy part. And for him, it looks like this, a cartoon. He was watching some cartoon of his own, which he directed, wrote the script for, and he sits and watches it. A flat, not character, on the TV. And then at some point, a real hand reaches out from that TV, the character, the cartoon character he drew, and just punches him on the head with a fist. And this leads to a program malfunction, or leaving him stunned. Such a technique can even cause a narcissist to fall from their grandiose pole to his lowest zero state, when his self-esteem drops and he feels that he is next to a strong woman and cannot break her. And he will start even groveling. This sugar show is the stage when he lost the woman, when she showed him aggression, her own, he falls to that zero of his and starts rolling on the floor, sobbing and crying. Don't leave me. You know, all those things. I will be different. I will change my behavior. Now you believe me. Now everything will be different. Never mind that it's already the 5th or 6th time. He said the same thing and nothing changed. Everything repeats and repeats. So this mirroring can lead to the result that the narcissist might even grovel before you, but don't believe it. As soon as you relax, everything will return. So work by yourself time, work with a psychologist on yourself so that you are not afraid. Fear is the enemy in relationships. In general, entering a relationship with fear is just signing up for your own suffering. As long as you fear your helplessness, the loss of external support, you will keep entering relationships with a narcissist again and again. You will use this technique, endure the blow, the tension. You will get sick. So use this strategy as a temporary measure in order to acquire some profession, learn, and earn on your own. But this is a technique not meant for a lifetime. You will simply exhaust yourself. That's all. I remind you that I'm looking forward to your subscriptions, your support, so that by the new year we have 5,000 subscribers. It's not that much, but for me it will be our little victory.